The Desperate Mother. The small alien ship drifted in the cold darkness of space. Its lights flickered weakly, and smoke curled from broken panels. Inside, an alien mother held her child close against her chest. Her skin shimmered with faint blue tones, her eyes wide with fear. The ship's life support system gave a long warning beep and then went silent. She pressed her forehead to her child's. The little one's breathing was slow, shallow, almost gone. She whispered in her own tongue, words of comfort and sorrow. She had fled from powerful hunters, but her ship was broken and her strength was fading. She knew, soon, both of them would die. Her long fingers moved quickly over the control panel. She sent distress signals, one after another, into the void. Many ships passed near. Some received the call. None answered. To them, she was nothing. Just another alien in trouble. They did not care if her child lived or died. Tears slid down her face. She had failed to protect her child. She had failed as a mother. In her arms, the little one's skin grew colder. She rocked the child gently, whispering a lullaby even though she knew no song could stop death. Just then, a new light blinked on her radar. A ship was approaching. A human ship. Her breath caught. Humans were strange creatures, sometimes cruel, sometimes kind. Some said they were dangerous. Some said they were protectors. She did not know which kind these would be, but she had no choice. She pressed the distress beacon again, her hands trembling. The human vessel slowed near her wreck. For a long, heavy moment, nothing happened. She feared they would also ignore her. She thought they would leave her to die like all the others. But then her communicator sparked alive. A rough human voice spoke. "This is Captain Marcus Hale, of the Starship Horizon. We received your signal. Identify yourself." The alien mother tried to answer, but her throat shook with sobs. Her language was not human. Her words came out broken. She held the child up to the screen, showing the weak, dying body. She did not need to speak. Her desperation was clear. There was a silence on the line. The human crew whispered among themselves. She could hear one say, "Leave them. It's not our problem." Another voice added, "Aliens bring trouble. We don't risk our lives for them." Her heart sank. She thought, "Yes, this is the end." But then the captain's voice came again, firm, steady. "Prepare to board. We're bringing them in." Her eyes widened in shock. A human was choosing to save them. The docking doors opened. Strong human arms lifted her and the child from the smoking wreck. Her vision blurred, her body weak, but she felt warmth around her at last. The captain himself carried the child, rushing down the narrow halls of his ship. "Medic!" he shouted. "Now!" The human medic looked at the alien child and frowned. "I don't even know this species. Its body is too different. We can't save it." The mother let out a broken cry, reaching forward. But the captain stood tall, his voice sharp. "Try anyway. As long as they're on my ship, they live." The medic hesitated, then obeyed. Machines hummed, scanning the child. The mother clutched the captain's sleeve, whispering thanks in her broken words. He did not understand her language, but he understood her meaning. For the first time since her escape, she felt hope. But then, the ship's alarms blared. A new radar signal appeared on the screen. Unknown vessels had entered the sector. They were moving fast. The captain's eyes hardened. He recognized the design of those ships. Hunters. Ruthless killers who chased prey across galaxies. The alien mother's voice cracked as she saw the screens. Her hands shook, pointing at them. She whispered in fear, "They found us." The human captain turned to his crew. "Battle stations. No one touches them while I'm alive." The alien mother looked at him, stunned. In her own people's eyes, she had already failed. No one had come. No one had cared. But this one human. He chose to stand between her child and death. In the silence of her heart, she whispered, "Maybe. I have not failed yet." The medical room of the Starship Horizon was bright and cold. Machines beeped in a steady rhythm, but the sound was weak, like the last heartbeat of a dying star. The alien child lay on the bed, skin pale, chest rising only slightly with each breath. The human medic, Dr. Leon, worked quickly, scanning the child's body. His face twisted with worry. "Captain," he said, shaking his head, "this isn't good. The child's organs are collapsing. I don't know this biology. Human medicine won't be enough." Captain Marcus Hale stood close, arms folded. His jaw was tight. "Then make it enough," he said. His voice was calm, but carried steel. The alien mother knelt beside the bed, holding her child's small hand. Her lips moved in prayer-like whispers. She did not understand the human words around her, but she saw the medic's grim face. Her heart broke with every beep of the machine. Dr. Leon sighed. "I can try stabilizing its breathing, but without knowing its blood type, I can't do a transfusion. One wrong move could kill it." From the hallway came angry voices. The crew had gathered, and their words cut sharp through the air. "Why are we risking the ship for them?" one man shouted. "They're not even human," another added. "What if this alien child is dangerous? What if it carries disease?" "We've already been attacked once," a woman's voice snapped. "Those hunters will follow. Are we ready to die for a stranger's child?" The captain stepped out, his tall figure casting a shadow over them. His eyes moved from one face to the next. "Listen," he said firmly. "That child is not dangerous. It's innocent. We don't abandon innocence." The room fell into uneasy silence. No one spoke back to him, but their eyes were full of doubt. Inside the medbay, the alien mother lifted her head. She looked at the captain with wet eyes. She placed her hand over her heart and then touched her child's forehead. Her gesture was clear. "Please, save him." Captain Hale nodded once. "As long as you're here, you live. Both of you." Dr. Leon adjusted the machines again. "I'll try something," he muttered. He connected wires, injected stabilizers, and adjusted the oxygen levels. The child's chest rose slightly higher, but the heartbeat remained weak. The alien mother leaned close, whispering a lullaby in her language. Her voice shook. The captain watched quietly, his eyes hard but filled with something unspoken. Respect, maybe even sorrow. Then, the ship shook, violently. Alarms blared. The lights flickered red. The captain rushed to the bridge. On the main screen, several ships appeared on the radar, moving fast toward them. The helmsman cursed. "Hunters again, Captain. They've tracked us." The alien mother's cry echoed from the medbay. She had seen the screen too. Her body trembled as she clutched her child. The crew's fear returned, stronger than before. "This is suicide," someone shouted. "They want the mother and the child." "Let's give them over and save ourselves," the captain's voice cut through the chaos. "No, they're under our protection. We don't hand them over." One officer stepped forward, face red with anger. "Captain, with all respect, you're risking all of us for two aliens. We don't even know them." The captain turned, his eyes sharp as blades. "I know enough. That child is helpless, and I'll never stand by while hunters prey on the helpless. Not while I command this ship." His words carried weight, but the crew's doubt still hung in the air like smoke. Back in the medbay, Dr. Leon wiped sweat from his brow. "I've slowed the collapse, but this won't hold long. We need something more." The alien mother's tears dripped onto her child's face. She whispered, "Don't go. Don't leave me." Her voice was weak, almost broken. The child stirred faintly, glowing for just a moment, like a spark of light beneath the skin. Dr. Leon froze. "Captain, did you see that?" Captain Hale stepped closer. The child's body gave off a faint, strange shimmer. The monitors blinked with signals that made no sense. "What is it?" the captain asked. Dr. Leon's eyes widened. "I don't know. But this child isn't just sick. There's something inside it. Something powerful." The ship rocked again from another blast outside. The captain looked at the glowing child, then at the terrified mother, and finally at the radar full of hunter ships. he whispered under his breath almost to himself. This is bigger than we thought. The horizon groaned as another blast shook its hull. Red lights flashed across every corridor, painting the metal walls in bloody color. The sound of distant alarms blended with the heavy thump of engines straining under pressure. On the main screen of the bridge, hunter ships closed in. Their long, black hulls looked like blades cutting through space, each glowing with cruel red markings. They flew in tight formation, circling the human vessel like wolves surrounding a wounded prey. Captain Marcus Hale stood tall at the center of the bridge. His eyes narrowed as he studied the enemy ships. They're faster this time, he muttered. They want her badly. The alien mother clutched her child in the medbay, rocking back and forth as the walls shook around her. She knew those hunters well. Merciless killers who never stopped until their prey was destroyed or captured. Her lips trembled with whispered pleas. She had failed to protect her child before, and now death was clawing at their door again. In the medbay doorway, Dr. Leon appeared, his face pale. Captain, we can't keep taking these hits. If the shields drop, we'll be torn apart in minutes. The captain's jaw tightened. Then we don't let the shields drop. Helm, evasive maneuvers, weapons, lock on targets. The crew obeyed. But hesitation hung heavy in the air. Their eyes flicked toward the alien mother on the screen as though blaming her for their danger. Another voice rose in anger. We wouldn't even be in this fight if not for them, shouted Officer Rin. His fists slammed against the console. One alien child against 40 human lives? It doesn't add up. A ripple of uneasy murmurs spread across the bridge. The captain turned slowly, his gaze sharp as a blade. You think the math decides who deserves to live? His voice was low, dangerous. Not on my ship. While they're here, they are under our protection. That's final. The room went silent. The crew turned back to their stations, but their unease still burned like fire under the surface. Out in space, the hunters finally spoke. A cold, metallic voice crackled through the comms. Human vessel, it hissed. You are harboring fugitives. Release them and we will let you live. The captain leaned forward, eyes locked on the dark shapes outside. This is Captain Hale of the Starship Horizon. My answer is simple. No. There was a pause. Then came a laugh, sharp, cruel, inhuman. Then you will all die with them. The hunters fired. Beams of energy lit up the void. The horizon twisted, shields groaning as the crew fought to dodge and return fire. Explosions flared, lighting the darkness like bursts of lightning. In the medbay, the alien mother covered her child's ears, though no hands could hide the terror in her eyes. Each blast rattled her bones. She whispered, I failed. I failed. Over and over. But when she looked up at the human captain's face on the small wall screen, she saw something strange. He did not waver. Back on the bridge, Hale gripped the railing. Sweat lined his brow, but his voice stayed steady. They're herding us into the asteroid field. Don't let them. Dive left, engines full burn. The horizon lurched, sliding between massive floating rocks. The asteroids drifted slowly like ancient giants in the void. The hunters followed, firing relentlessly. Some rocks cracked under the blasts, scattering debris that slammed into the human ship's shields. Shields at 60%, someone shouted. We can't keep this up, another cried. Hale's voice cut through the panic. Hold steady. Use the rocks for cover. Make them chase us close. The ship weaved between the asteroids, darting in and out of shadows. The hunters pressed forward, confident, relentless. But the captain was counting on their arrogance. Now, Hale barked. The horizon fired its rear cannons. A shot ripped through an asteroid, splitting it in two. The massive chunks slammed into one hunter ship, crushing it against the rock. A fiery explosion bloomed, sending shards across the void. Cheers erupted on the bridge, but it was short-lived. 4 more hunter ships remained, and they were closing fast. The alien child stirred on the medbay bed. For a moment, its skin shimmered faintly, glowing like a star behind glass. The mother gasped, pressing her hand against its chest. She didn't understand the glow, but she felt power inside her child. Power the hunters wanted, power she could not control. On the bridge, Hale watched the radar. His voice dropped low, meant for himself, alone. This isn't just about saving a mother and child. They're carrying something bigger, something the hunters fear or want. The hunters spread out, blocking every escape path. Their leader's voice came again, sharp and final. Last chance, human. Give us the child, or watch your ship burn. The captain stared at the screen, his crew waiting for his reply. The mother's terrified face appeared on a side monitor, clutching her glowing child. His hand tightened into a fist. His decision came without hesitation. Over my dead body. The hunters opened fire. The horizon dove into the asteroid field, explosions chasing it into the shadows, and so the desperate flight began. The asteroid field was silent now. No blasts, no echoes of hunters, only drifting stone and the hum of the horizon's engines. The crew breathed in uneasy relief, but everyone knew it would not last. Hunters never gave up. Captain Marcus Hale stood on the bridge, staring at the radar. "They'll be back," he muttered. "They don't chase this hard for nothing." Down in the medbay, the alien mother stroked her child's face. His breathing was still shallow, but steadier than before. The glow that had flashed earlier was gone, as though it had never happened. But she remembered, and so did Dr. Leon. He watched the child with cautious eyes. "Captain," he whispered when Hale entered the room, "I saw it again. Not just sickness. There's something inside this child. Something unnatural." The captain's eyes narrowed. "Explain." Dr. Leon tapped the monitor. The child's heart rate jumped and dipped in strange patterns. Symbols, alien shapes flickered across the screen for a second before vanishing. "Our systems don't even have the language to read it," he said. "But it's clear. This child isn't ordinary. Whatever's inside him, the hunters know about it." The mother stiffened, hugging her child protectively. She did not know the human words, but she felt the suspicion in their eyes. Her voice cracked as she whispered in her own tongue. Her tears glistened like glass. Hale crouched in front of her, speaking gently. "We're not your enemies, but I need the truth. Why do they want him?" The mother trembled. Her lips parted, and broken human words escaped. Child. Power inside. Not safe. She pressed her forehead to the boy's. They want. They take. He die. The bridge crew listened through the comm. Unease spread like poison. Officer Rin's voice crackled over the speaker. "Captain, you hear that? She admits it. This child carries something dangerous. We should turn them over before it kills us all." Another officer joined in, fearful. "What if the child isn't just sick? What if it explodes? What if it brings more hunters?" Murmurs spread, louder, sharper. The captain stood slowly, his shoulders squared. His voice rolled across the ship like thunder. "Enough. This child isn't the threat. The hunters are. You want to be the kind of crew that throws a dying child to wolves? Not on my ship. Not while I draw breath." Silence followed. No one dared answer, but their doubt remained. At that moment, the child stirred. His small body arched, eyes glowing faintly like stars. Symbols appeared again, this time, not on the machines but in the air itself. Floating lights formed patterns, circles within circles, shining above the bed. The mother gasped and pulled him close. The crew stepped back, fear in their eyes. The symbols pulsed once, twice, then spread across the medbay walls like ripples in water. The lights sank into the ship's systems, and every console blinked with unknown energy. Dr. Leon shouted, "Captain, he's interfacing with the ship." On the bridge, the radar flickered. For a heartbeat, every hunter ship in the field appeared on the screen, even the ones hidden in shadow. Their exact positions lit up as if the horizon suddenly had godlike vision. The crew froze. Hale's eyes widened. He looked at the child on the medbay screen. "He's showing us where they are." The glow faded, The child collapsed back against the bed, chest heaving, weak again. The symbols vanished like smoke. For a long moment no one spoke. Only the quiet sound of the child's breathing filled the air. Then Officer Rin's angry voice broke the silence. "You see? This isn't just a child, it's a weapon. The hunters want it for power. And we're sitting here with a ticking bomb," the mother snapped, her voice breaking in fear and fury. She pressed her child to her chest and cried in broken words, not weapon, my son." Her scream silenced the room. Captain Hale's gaze swept over his crew. His voice dropped low, but his words cut sharp. "Weapon or not, it's still a child. And I will not let those monsters take him." Dr. Leon hesitated. His eyes softened as he looked at the boy. "Captain, maybe he isn't just something to fear. Maybe he's the reason we survive." The captain nodded slowly. "Then we protect him. Whatever it takes." The lights flickered again. The hunters were moving, drawing closer through the asteroid shadows. The crew held their breath. The child had revealed their enemies, but also revealed himself. Now the hunters would be even more desperate to capture him. The captain tightened his grip on the railing. "They'll come harder next time," he whispered, "and when they do, we'll be ready." The alien mother kissed her child's forehead, whispering through her tears. She had thought she had failed him. But perhaps, with these strange humans, hope was not lost. The horizon floated in the shadows of the asteroid field. The crew sat tense at their stations, every light and alarm warning of danger nearby. The hunters had not attacked again, yet. They were waiting, circling, like predators studying their prey. On the bridge, Captain Marcus Hale stood still, hands gripping the railing, his eyes fixed on the screen where the hunter ships drifted, patient and cruel. He knew they would not leave. They never left. Behind him, whispers grew into sharp voices. The crew had reached their breaking point. "This is madness," Officer Rin hissed. His face was pale, but his eyes burned with anger. "We're risking everything for one alien child." "We've already lost too much power," another said. "Shields are weak, engines are overheated, we can't keep running." "If the hunters attack again, we're finished," a third added. Hale turned slowly, his gaze heavy. "Say what you mean." Rin stepped forward. His voice was steady, but his words were like blades. "Give them what they want, the mother and the child. Then they'll let us live." The silence on the bridge was heavier than the void outside. Some crew members lowered their eyes, ashamed. Others nodded faintly, too afraid to disagree. The captain's jaw tightened. "You want me to hand over a dying child to monsters?" "It's not a child," Rin snapped. "It's something else. You saw it. The glow, the symbols, the way it touched our systems. That thing isn't safe. You're gambling with all our lives for what? Honor? Pride?" Hale's voice was quiet, but it cut deeper than a shout. "For humanity." Confusion rippled across the bridge. He stepped closer, his eyes sharp as steel. "What makes us human? Our weapons, our ships? No, it's the choices we make, the lines we will not cross. If we throw away a child to save ourselves, then we are no better than the hunters chasing us." Rin's face twisted. "And if protecting them kills all of us?" "Then we die human," Hale said, his voice like iron. The crew froze. Some looked at him with awe, others with fear, but no one spoke. Suddenly the ship shook violently. The hunters were testing the shields again, firing warning shots. The sound rattled through every hall. Sparks showered from a panel. The alien mother, cradling her child in the med bay, looked up with wide eyes. She heard the voices through the comms, though she understood only pieces. But she saw the faces: fear, anger, doubt. She knew the crew, wanted her gone. She whispered to her son, "I protect you. Even if I fail again, I protect you." On the bridge, the argument grew hotter. "We should vote," one officer demanded. "The captain doesn't get to decide alone." "Yes," another agreed. "This is life or death for all of us." The captain's hand went to his sidearm. The room froze. His voice was calm, steady, but dangerous. You want to vote? Fine. But hear me first. I will never order you to die for me. But I will ask you this. What kind of people do you want to be? Survivors who live with blood on their hands? Or humans who stand for something more? The silence stretched long. Finally, Dr. Leon spoke, his voice soft but clear. I've treated the child. I've seen his weakness. He's not a monster. He's not a weapon. He's just a boy. If we give him up, I'll never forgive myself. Murmur ran through the crew. Some nodded, some looked away. Rin's face darkened with frustration. Another blast rocked the ship. The hunters were closing in again. Hale's voice rose above the alarms. There's no time. We either fight for them, or we surrender them. Decide now. Every eye turned to him. For a heartbeat, the crew wavered between fear and courage. Then, Hale slammed his hand on the console. Enough. I've made my choice. As long as I breathe, that child stays safe. If anyone tries to hand them over, they'll answer to me. The words struck like thunder. Rin opened his mouth to argue, but the captain's glare silenced him. The alien mother's voice cracked over the comm. Her broken words were clear. Thank you. Hale looked at her through the screen. He nodded once, then his eyes turned to the hunters outside. Battle stations, he ordered. If they want the child, they'll have to go through all of us. The crew moved, some reluctantly, but they moved. The hum of weapons charging filled the ship. The hunters drew closer, forming a deadly circle. The captain's voice was steady as he gave the final order. Hold the line. The hunters fired. The void exploded with light, and so began the fight for one child, and for the soul of humanity itself. The first blast struck like a hammer. The horizon shook from nose to tail. Sparks fell from a ceiling panel. Smoke curled in thin gray threads. Through the forward glass, the hunter ships closed in, 4 black knives gliding through the dark. Captain Marcus Hale planted his feet and spoke in a steady, quiet voice. Helm, bring us low along the asteroid ridge. Keep the biggest rocks, between us and their guns. Weapons, only fire when you have a sure hit. The crew moved. Their fear was still there, but it now lived behind their eyes, not in their hands. They trusted the order. Or at least they trusted the voice that gave it. In the med bay, the alien mother held her child close. The boy's breath came slow and thin. Dr. Leon worked with careful hands, eyes on the monitors. Stay with me, he whispered. Just a little longer. A new tremor rattled the ship. The lights dimmed. The intercom clicked alive with Officer Rin's voice from engineering. Shields at 42%. I need 3 minutes to reroute power. You have 2, the captain replied. Make it happen. Rin swore softly, then cut the line. He moved like a man waking from a bad dream. He had pushed against the captain, against the choice, against the child. But now fire licked the edges of the ship, and the only way forward was together. He jammed his hands into an open panel. All right. Horizon, he muttered. Breathe with me. Outside, the hunters split and swept wide, boxing the human ship in. One slid under the asteroid ridge and rose like a shark from dark water, guns bright and hot. Target 3 on our belly, someone shouted. Roll us, the captain snapped. The horizon twisted along the rock's curve. A hunter blast grazed. Their flank. White heat. A hiss, a scream of metal. The horizon answered with a single, clean shot. It clipped the hunter's engine. The enemy ship spun out, tail flashing, and disappeared into the rocks. 1 down. Weapons reported. Voice shaking. 3 to go. Don't count, Hale said softly. Survive. In the medbay, the alien child stirred. A faint glow lived under his skin again, like a hidden sunrise. The mother felt it first, heat against her palm, a pulse against her chest. No, she whispered. Rest. Please rest. But the child's eyes opened, clear and strange, as if they could see a sky no one else could. Symbols flickered in the air, soft lights forming a thin, careful ring. Dr. Leon flinched, then steadied. "It's all right," he said to the mother. "I think he's trying to help." The ring brightened, and then the ship's navigation display woke with new stars. Paths drew themselves across the map, thin silver threads running between the asteroids between enemy lines down into a dark, bent place where light itself seemed tired. The captain stared. "Is that a route?" Dr. Leon's voice came over the bridge comm. "Captain, the boy is projecting this to our systems. It looks like a corridor, some kind of stable, no, barely stable, space-time fold." "A wormhole," Hale said. He almost smiled. "And a terrible one." "We won't survive that," the helmsman breathed. "We won't survive this either," the captain answered. "Pick your miracle." Another blast smashed the rear shields. Warning tones rose like a choir that had lost its song. Rin's voice cut in. "Shields at 26. I can give you one burst to engines or one burst to shields, not both." "Engines," Hale said. "All in?" Rin closed his eyes. "Aye." Power surged forward. The horizon shuddered as if it remembered it once had wings. "Plot the child's route," Hale ordered. "Every turn, every gap. Keep us a hair away from the rocks." "Go," helmsman swallowed. "Set, on my mark." Outside, the remaining hunters fired together, a tight net of light. The horizon dove. The first beam split a drifting boulder above them into glittering sand. The second clipped a fin and tore it like paper. The third missed. "Mark." The horizon. Leapt, they threaded the asteroid maze. Once, twice, the hull kissed stone and left a line of bright metal behind. The crew spoke in short words only. Left. Low. Hold. One hunter followed too close and clipped a spinning fragment. Its nose bent inward. Then its whole ship folded like a can. It blossomed into fire and fell away. Two hunters. Left. They pressed on. Their guns never slept. In the med bay, the boy's glow strengthened, and so did his pain. His small body shook. The mother cupped his face, tears bright on her cheeks. "Stop," she begged. "You will break." The child blinked once, slow, as if listening to a voice from very far away. The symbol ring narrowed to a thin line, a gye needle, pointing to a black seam between stones. The seam looked wrong, like a cut in space. Cold air seemed to blow from it, though there was no air. "Wormhole mouth in 10 seconds, the helmsman called, voice high. "Rin," Hale said. "I need thrust on 0. "That means dead stop," Rin snapped. "In front of a hole that eats ships." "Trust me." Rin swore again, but his hands moved. "On your word." The captain watched the seam. It widened as they neared. Not like an opening door, but like a wound remembering its pain. The hunters locked on behind them, ready to fire through the horizon and into the hole if they must. 3, 2, 0, the helmsman counted. "Cut engines," Hale said. "Now." The ship dropped into a perfect stillness. The hunters overshot their marks by a breath. In that breath, the horizon fell straight down, weightless, like a coin slipping between floorboards. "Engines full," Hale barked. "Now, now, now." Rin slammed the feed. The ship kicked. For a blink there was no up, no down, no time. Colors turned to sound turned to teeth, the horizon screamed without voice. The crew clung to bolts, to rails, to hope. Then, silence. They came out in a starless pocket of space, blank and deep like the inside of a closed eye. No hunters, no radar, only the ship's own heartbeat. The bridge held its breath. Someone sobbed once, soft and surprised. Another laughed high and wild, then clapped a hand over their mouth. Hale did not smile. "Report." "Hull breached in 2 places, sealed by autofoam," engineering said. "We lost a fin and a lot of paint." "Shields at 8% recharging," Rin added, voice hoarse. Then, after a pause, "Good flying, Captain." "Good power, Rin," Hale answered. Simple words. A bridge built. In the med bay, the light left the boy's skin. He slumped, small again. Dr. Leon caught him before he slid off the bed. The monitors steadied to a weak, thin rhythm. The mother pressed her forehead to her son's. "Thank you," she whispered. To him, to the ship, to the strangers who were no longer strangers. Hale stepped into the doorway. For a long moment he said nothing. He just watched a mother hold a child who had held a whole ship. "Doctor," he said at last, voice soft. "What does he need?" "Time," Dr. Leon replied, "and quiet. And a reason to think he can wake up to a safe world." Hale nodded. "We'll make one." He turned back toward the bridge. The starless pocket would not stay secret. Hunters learned, and wounds in space did not heal clean. But for now, there was breath. For now there was the thin, stubborn light of survival. On the way out, he passed Rin in the corridor. The officer stood straighter than before. He met the captain's eyes and, without being asked, said, "I was wrong." Hale did not slow. "Be right now," he said, and kept walking. Behind him, the horizon drifted in the quiet. The child slept. The mother watched over him. The crew reset panels and wiped away soot. Somewhere, a small red warning light blinked and then, for the first time in hours, went dark. The great escape was done. The war for what comes next had just begun. The horizon drifted in the quiet pocket of space like a tired bird that had found a small branch. No hunters, no radar pings, only the soft hum of machines trying to heal a wounded ship. Captain Marcus Hale stood on the bridge and listened to that hum. It was a good sound. It meant the ship was still alive. It meant his crew was still here. "Damage report," he said. Rin answered, voice steady for the first time in hours. "Primary shields recharging. Hull patched. Engines at 40%. We can move, but not fast. If the hunters find this pocket, we can't run far." "We won't have to," Hale said. "We'll be gone before they sniff it out." He turned to the screen that showed the medbay. The alien mother sat on the bed, her child in her arms. The boy slept, face calm at last. Dr. Leon watched over them with the patience of a lighthouse. "How is he?" Hale asked over the comm. "Alive," Dr. Leon said. "Barely, but alive. The glow is gone, the symbols are quiet. His body needs rest. His mind too." The mother looked up at the camera. She placed a hand over her heart, then toward the screen. Simple, clear thanks. A language older than words. Hale nodded once and cut the feed. He let the bridge fall into gentle work, cooling coils, sealing vents, resetting safeties. The crew spoke in short phrases and soft tones. Even their fear was tired now. After a while, he walked to the medbay. The room smelled like metal and clean air. The mother's eyes were red, but there was strength in them. She shifted, making space as Hale stepped closer. "He saved us," Dr. Leon said quietly. "He showed us the way. And you," he looked at the captain, "you made the choice to follow." Hale studied the child. Without the glow, he was just a boy. Small fingers, thin breath, a face that did not know it had carried a ship through a torn place in the stars. He felt a slow heat in his chest that was not anger and not fear. Something else. Respect, maybe. Duty, surely. The mother tried a few human words. "You save my son." Hale shook his head. "He saved us too." She understood, enough to smile through tears. A chime sounded on the intercom. Rin's voice. "Captain, you should see this." Hale returned to the bridge. On the main display, a faint echo crawled along the edge of the pocket. Not hunters. Something softer. Like a radio shadow, drifting wreckage. One of the hunter ships that had failed to follow them. The crew stared. Weapons officer whispered, "They aren't gods." "No," Hale said. "They aren't." He felt the bridge grow a spine at those words. He let a minute pass, then spoke to everyone on the ship. "We took a hard road. We did not sell a child to buy our lives. We did not become like the ones who hunt the weak. We are still human. Remember this feeling. It is the weight of being right. Silence followed, then a quiet ripple of breath, a soft laugh, a hand tap on a console, the sound of people standing a little taller. Rin cleared his throat. "Captain, I want to say—" "You already did," Hale said. "Now help me get us home." "Aye." They set a course out of the pocket. Slow, careful. The ship groaned, but it moved. In the medbay, the boy stirred. His eyes opened, dark and clear. He blinked at the ceiling, at his mother, at Dr. Leon, and then at the small wall screen where the captain's face sometimes appeared. He reached a hand toward it as if he could feel the voice that had drawn a line around him and said, "Safe." "Hey," Dr. Leon said softly. "Back with us." The mother pressed her forehead to her son's. Her words were a song. No glow answered, no symbols, only the steady rhythm of a child coming back to the world. Hours later, the horizon slipped from the pocket into normal star fields. The stars looked honest again. Thin and far, but honest. No hunters waited there. The crew let out a long breath together. Hale ordered a beacon ping. Short, coded, not enough to shout, just enough to ask for help from friendly stations. The reply would take time. That was fine. Time was finally something they had. He made one last stop in the med bay before rest cycle. The mother stood as he entered. She bowed her head and tried more words. "I failed," she said, voice shaking. She touched her chest. "Mother, fail." Then she touched the boy's cheek, then the captain's sleeve. "But human. Save. Human. Good." He should have denied it, told her it was nothing, told her any captain would have done it. But he did not lie to women who had walked through fire. "We did what we should," he said. "That is enough." She nodded. Tears fell. She did not wipe them away. The boy looked up at Hale, studying him with a strange, quiet focus. He lifted his hand, the same small hand that had lit symbols in the air, and offered it. Hale hesitated, then took it gently. Warm, fragile, very real. "Rest," he said to the child. "You've carried enough." The child blinked and, for just a heartbeat, a tiny shape, one simple circle, winked in the air between them and was gone. Not power, not danger. A thank you in a language the ship did not know how to read. Hale left them there and walked the halls. He stopped at engineering, where Rin and two techs were asleep against a bulkhead, tools still in their hands. He pulled a thermal blanket over their shoulders and moved on. He checked the galley, where someone had left a pot warming, a quiet, promise that there would be food on the next watch. He listened to the ship, to the small, brave sounds of people who had chosen the hard road and survived it. On the bridge, the stars drifted. A soft reply ping came in from a distant way station. "Assistance inbound," it read. "Hold course." Hale sat in the captain's chair and let the weight of command settle like a coat he could finally take, off for a moment. He looked at the forward glass and saw not hunters, not fire, not dark wounds in space. He saw the next day. Behind him, the hatch opened. Dr. Leon stepped in, eyes rimmed with red but bright. "He's sleeping, real sleep." "Good," Hale said. "Captain." "Why did you choose us?" Leon asked. "You could have chosen safety. Numbers. You chose us." Hale watched the stars. "Because someone has to teach the hunters they are wrong," he said, "and sometimes the lesson is simple. We do not give up our children." Leon smiled, tired and proud, and left him there. The horizon sailed on, scarred, slower, but full of breath. In a quiet med bay, a mother held her child and did not feel like a failure anymore. On a quiet bridge, a human captain kept watch, not as a hero, not as a legend, but as a man who had done the right thing when it was hardest. And somewhere far behind them, in broken rocks and dark seams, The echo of a different choice faded, until only the stars remained.